morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday, whether you in your car getting ready for work. Happy Monday to you. Yes, sir. Like I said, happy Monday, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. Doing well, man. Check this out. I have some exciting news to share this morning. And it's something that I've already done, but I just picked it up yesterday and had a bunch of mixed feelings about when it happened, but I'm excited to have it. I'm excited to see it. A couple people told me I should be a little bit more excited about it. But like most people, I ain't gonna say most people, people like me, people that are driven by goals, people that are always looking for the next level up, the next thing. We don't always stop to smell the roses or enjoy the journey. It's soon as we get done with one thing, we on to the next thing. Or we looking down at the next journey, how because it always starts at the bottom. Whenever you get to the top of a hill, you kind of go down a little bit because that accomplishment has happened. There's nothing more you can get from this space. And so now there's a kind of a descent into the valley. You don't go all the way back down, but then the next journey begins. And people that are built like me, we like to hit the goal, the accomplishment, and I think the feeling of the accomplishment is the reward for us. But the credits or accolades that come with it is just kind of like, what's next? So I want to share with you today this trophy that I was awarded for being, can you read that? Let's see, District 117 International Speech Contestant, first place. And so I won this as a speech contest that I did, and it was a statewide contest. And my goal for it, and I'm excited. Matter of fact, well, let me find some. Yeah, yeah. So I won it. I earned it. It was a hard fought victory, and I got it. So I just wanted to share that with you. It's gonna go back on the wall back there with my some of my other accomplishments. And so I used to have all my stuff packed in boxes, and then I realized one day that is things that I've accomplished. Those are things that appreciated brick by brick. I've really appreciated, bro. And so I'm learning to. I have so many people that watch my stream and they call me or they text me or they email me and saying, "Hey man, don't just be glossing over, who you are and what you've done. You worked really hard for that." And it is true. So I want to start this thing over again and I want to do it the right way. So, welcome to the show, everybody. I'm not going to do the music again, but welcome to the show, everybody. Good to have you here. For those of you who don't know me, welcome. Happy Monday to you. My name is Jamon Glover. And those of you who don't know what it's spelled, that's what it is, Jamon Glover. And I'm a personal and family development coach. I'm a motivational speaker, best-selling author. Hey, I did it again because it's going to happen. Best-selling author, father, husband, grandfather, papa, if you will. Yes, yes. And today, I just showed you my trophy, but I want to show it to you again because I won first place. I won first place, and I'm excited about it. And I have bigger things that I want to accomplish. So just kind of getting back to my roots and understanding that everything that I've done has made me who I am. And I want to say the same for you. I know some of you may you attracted to this show because you have been you relate to some things that I talk about. And you probably finding yourself in the same situation to where you see the good things that you've done, but it's past. It's not relevant today, but I'm here to tell you that it is. It is truly relevant today. So, as you saw the title of today's show, it's what to do when times get a little hard, when the tough times come. So, for a question of today, I want to ask, why is all this personal development stuff necessary? Why do I spend Monday through Friday talking about personal development? What's the big deal? Does it even matter? And before we get into it, thank you for your likes, for your comments. Thanks for subscribing. And also, please share it out if you think this message is something that needs to go to people in your circle, friends, family, or just to the general public. Feel free to share it out, clip it, do whatever you want to do to it for now. I'm not sure how this channel is going to progress, but now I'm just trying to get it out to as many people as I can. But you know me, I'm pretty much an open book. I'll tell you if that changes in any way or I make stuff private. I don't know what's going to happen. But going into this personal development stuff, why does it matter? Is it important? If it's important to you, put a 1 in the chat. If it's just entertaining to you, put a 2 in the chat. Just if it matters, does it move the needle? And I'm always curious about it because I was one of the people who didn't think it really mattered. I thought it was just, just positive self-talk in itself, which is good. Because the thing about positive self-talk or positive energy, that's the first step in our evolutions. We talk so negative about ourselves. We think so negative about the things that we have going on. And we slide those things in. How many times have you heard or even said, I can't win for losing? I can't win for losing. I've said it. I've said it so many times. And I struggle, honestly, I do struggle with it still to this day. For the simple fact is, it's part of the initial programming. If you've ever heard you act like your mama or you act like your daddy, well, it was probably never said in a positive way. So we get those negative messages early in life. And then over time, we start learning and we start programming ourselves. And so everything that we say can be negative. Everything that we say can be negative. And we already talked about what positive talk do. Positive talk creates more positive energy within you, but so does negative energy. It creates more negative energy within you. Positive energy puts you at a higher frequency, and that higher frequency, it attracts more things at that higher frequency. So when you're happier, when you're smiling, when you're upbeat, you either bring people up to where you are or you attract people that's on that same vibration. And that's good. And that's the first step. However, can't stop there. So today, we're going to talk about, I want to do a little story time today because the show is going to change just a little bit in how I present and how I talk about things because the personal development piece really is the first step in what this show will eventually become. So I got some other sets set up and we're going to be going to the whiteboard. I'm going to be showing you guys an inside look into my vision board process, what I do, how I do it. And I'm going to walk you through all the things that I've done and I've helped other people do to kind of turn their life into the space that they wanted it to go. And my journey, it really started when I got out of the military. For anybody who's never experienced military life, it can be a hard road. It can be a hard road. And I only say it because you're literally signing up to potentially go fight and die in a conflict to protect your way of life, your freedoms. That's literally what you're signing up for. A lot of people do it for money for college, or people like me, I had no idea what I wanted when I graduated high school. I didn't like school, so I wasn't particularly interested in going to college. Why spend all that money and getting in debt to go somewhere and do something that I'm gonna pay for misery? It just didn't make sense to me. And I couldn't stay around my hometown. Jobs were not plenteous. They didn't pay that much, and it was just a bunch of trouble. And there's one thing, once you graduate high school, you become a big fish in a small pond. Well, not even a big fish. You a medium-sized fish. But there's a whole lot of other medium-sized fish there too. And in nature, dominance reigns. So you either gonna be put into some situations that may not be productive for you, or you're gonna become less of yourself. But sometimes it's hard to grow in this small pot that your seeds were planted in. Sometimes you have to go to a bigger space, a different environment, and get a way to change your life, to become more, and then potentially go back and make changes in that community. And that's really how I've modeled my life thus far. And so I graduate high school and I go into the military. Not sure. I'm very undisciplined. I'm in basic training and I'm about to get beat up by 5 drill sergeants because my mouth is reckless and I'm a hothead. I got this hair trigger and nobody can't tell me nothing. But it's one thing about this man's army. It is prepared for people like me. It is prepared for people like me, the hard headed, the ones you really can't say a lot to, the ones who you're not going to tell me what, the rebellious people like me. They have systems in place and they are humbling systems. But then there's also a brotherhood that you find, a sisterhood that you find, that camaraderie, and you meet people just like you. And you do that for however many years you serve. But anybody who's ever gotten out of the military can probably relate to what I'm about to say right now. When you get out and that transition in life happens, you go from an environment that was stable, that was structured, that was a lot of fun from time to time, but you felt the unity in ways that you don't feel it as much in the civilian world because everybody has different missions. Everybody's going different directions. But in the military, there's one mission. You may have different jobs, but there's one mission. And you learn to get along with people that you traditionally may not have gotten along with. You learn to put biases to the side for survival, for a cause greater than yourself. And then I'm out. My time expires and I'm out. And now I'm back in the real world. And it was hard. Because in the military, I didn't have to worry about medical care. I was young anyway, so I was in really good shape. But I got out of the military at 26. So I had a lot of life left. Youth, I would say, left. Way more than I would have now. Right now, I'm in that middle-age space now. So I'm 50-50 right now. I have maybe just as many days ahead of me as I have behind me if I take care of myself. But I didn't have the health worries or challenges that, potentially could be coming down the road because of my youth. Financially, every 1st and 15th, money hit the bank like clockwork. I was in government housing. I was in a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath house with a 2-car garage, and I didn't pay one piece of mortgage or one piece of rent. I didn't pay the light bill. I didn't pay the water bill. I just paid my cell phone bill. I just paid my cable bill, cable and internet, and my car note and groceries. The military provides a stable environment for the soldiers. That's part of the reason why the pay isn't commensurate with corporate or commensurate with the private sector. They give you so many benefits to offset some of the pay that they can't, because you can't pay every soldier 6 figures. So they do it in other ways. No free healthcare, free housing, utilities, things of that nature. So it balances out in grand scheme of things. But what do you do when you go from being in this space where everything is provided for, everything is taken care of, there's systems in place to ensure your success? All you have to do is not mess it up. But then whether you retire, you're medically discharged, or your time just expires and you get out, the transition, especially if you get out earlier, is not easy because there are not a lot of systems once you get out. There are systems that help you transition, but once you get out, and now, not only are you paying your car note, now you're paying for your rent, You might be in a town where the utilities are higher and you paying trash and water and electric, all these transitions. And now you may find it's hard to believe, but as a soldier, depending on when you get out in the job that you had, it might be almost impossible to find a job. I looked for 6 months to find a job that paid almost minimum wage. I went on interview after interview after interview. But high paying jobs in the private sector, people don't retire from very easily. They work 30 years. Some people will die in those positions because what they're going to go home and do? They're not going to find another job that's going to make even close. And depending on what the market doing, your 401k might look a little shady, a little shaky, a little unsecure. So you find yourself working the jobs that come easy, the security jobs, the management gas station jobs, the hotel front desk jobs. You find yourself doing those jobs, working in restaurants, cooking. Like I said, depending upon your skill set. And so when you have been here, you've been thanked for your service, you feel a part of something, and then it all goes away. All that old negative self talk, bad programming, it comes back. The hard times. The hard times come back. And my saving grace, and I say this because people give network marketing companies, they think they're scams, they think they're bad deals, but really they're not. Most of them are legitimate. If there's a product or a service involved, it's probably a legitimate business. It's just using people to navigate. And I'm no longer affiliated with any of them. But I have seen some that there is no product. It's just money. You put money here, you put money there. This person makes money, you make money. If there's no product or no service, it's just money, it's probably not going to end well for you. Just going to put that out there. But that also creates hard times. And we're talking about today, what do you do when the hard times come? What do you do? Why is this positive self-talk? Why is this personal development? Why does it all matter? Because I'm gonna just drop the bomb on it right now. If you are doing that work now and you are reprogramming your inner person, then when the tough times come, you don't stay in that mud. You don't wallow when it is long. Your vibration doesn't drop. Your frequency doesn't go down but so much. And so you're not making one bad decision and then another bad decision. And now you have a snowball of bad decisions. And sometimes it's not just you. Sometimes it could be the loss of a job or career, the loss of a family member, a loved one, a death of a relationship, death of a business. I mean, so many things happen from day to day. If you understand what I'm saying, if this is making sense, give me some more ones. Let me know that this is making sense because I really want you to understand why I do this show 5 days a week, why I do this show as often as I can, why I've dedicated my life to doing this more and more because I realized that it matters. When I got out of the military, I went down this rabbit hole of all the you never gonna be anything, you never gonna amount to nothing thoughts that I heard growing up, that I heard from so-called friends and teachers because I was not the best student. And so this network marketing business, what it allowed me to do was to change this. I started reading books. I started being around other people that were motivating and inspiring me to want to be my best version of myself. And I accidentally on purpose, discovered something. The more you were around this environment, the more you were around or the more you read books, I would read the same book over and over again. Because in school, you taught to read, memorize, take the test, throw the book away, or go to the next book. But how many times have you heard a song or watched a movie, and every time you watch it, you get something different from it? Every time you get something different from it. And so with the personal development stuff, appreciate it, Coach. Oh, Coach Jason Berry. Shout out. What's up, Coach Berry? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you being here. There are so many times that we miss stuff because mentally we're not able to see it. Remember the show? You don't know what you don't know? We miss stuff that we're not in a position in this moment to see. We don't understand the implications of something because it seems trivial. Even if you grew up in the church, you heard these scriptures time and time again. Faith without works is dead. And we quote it, yeah, faith without works. So we know if we have believe in something, we got to work for it. But we don't truly even understand what faith is. We don't even know what the works component is. But the more you dig deeper into it, the more you read it, you start getting revelations and epiphanies. You start getting these things happening and coming to you. So that's why we really need to work on these. That's why I do what I do with the positive self-talk. And like I said, positive self-talk is the first step, but there is systems and laws that govern how we move, how we have success. It's like I can't jump out my window right now and expect to fly because there's a law of gravity that says I'm going to hit the ground. Gravity is pushing everything down. Maybe that's why I'm shorter because gravity has been harder on me than some of y'all. I'm gonna just I'm gonna just drop that right quick. But no, seriously, in all seriousness, there are laws, and sometimes we can accidentally fall into a system that helps us become successful without even realizing what it is. And so, what this channel is going to be doing is going to be helping you unpack that system so you can be successful on purpose when you want to become, not just accidentally stumbling upon it. But I know that monologue went a little long today. So we're gonna go ahead and get into gratitudes. And so if you're not familiar with the channel, we do a section called gratitudes. And that's to talk about the things that we're most grateful for. Because we know sometimes we get so caught looking in the past at all the mistakes, or looking past through the front window we see so far beyond us that we don't see things that's around us. We don't see the things that we're grateful for, the things that actually made us who we are. But also when we show gratitude, it puts us in a better spirit, a better frequency, and it makes us feel better. And that's what life. We all want to feel good. We all want to feel happy. So let's get ready to get into these gratitudes. And like I always do, 30 seconds, use on you, and then I will join in after that. I'm grateful. I'm grateful just to see another day. I'm grateful that I made it through yesterday's stuff. I'm grateful for health, for strength, for family, for friends. I'm grateful for all my past, everything that's currently happening in my life right now, and for everything that's to come. I'm grateful for love and relationships, personal growth. I'm grateful to see my children grow, be happy, learn. I'm grateful for new opportunities, new perspectives. I'm grateful for the exponential growth that I've been experiencing in my life. I'm grateful for the lessons that I learned that made me who I am today. I'm grateful for you. Every person listening to the sound of my voice, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the job, the work, the business that I have, that I do. I'm grateful that I can provide for my family. I'm grateful that I have a family. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the gratitudes are over. And so, as we go forward in today's conversation, the rest of this week is going to be a little different than me sitting here. I'm going to go ahead, give you a sneak peek and tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about some like visualizations, the techniques, the people who use them, the success they have. Because now, since we've got a baseline on, well, let's just do a quick recap. We've talked about for the past 2 weeks or so, you know, why people fail to have the successes in life that they desire. We talked about what our missions are and why we're not on mission. We talked about the law of attraction and turning dreams into reality. Talked about being intentional about the things that we do. We also talked about knowing ourselves, knowing who we are, being caught up in the matrix. We talk about a lot of things that deal with what you actually want and the mindset that it takes to get those things. So the last 2 weeks, it's been solely dedicated to getting breaking down some of the barriers, some of the things, because a lot of people, you hear positive self-talk all the time, and we get advice from a lot of people who are not qualified to give advice. They have no really fruit to show. It's just something that they heard, something that they read, and it makes sense to them. And not to say that the advice or the opinion that they're giving you is not valid, but sometimes you don't take it as serious because there are no fruits hanging from that particular tree. So what I want to do is we're going to do a step by step, and we're going to break down how to achieve those goals that you want to achieve. The laws that govern, or the systems in place that govern, so that you know going into it there's a step to it. Our habits, our routines, they all are informed by it. And what it comes down to is really what I just said: faith and belief. Faith without works is dead. So, okay, what is faith? I'm gonna just real quick. Faith is, if you from the church, you know, faith is the what is it? The substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Right? Took me a while to pull it out the cobwebs because I go by a different definition of faith now, and I like to use faith without works. So, meaning, if you have faith in something, so faith is more of a devotional thing. You're accepting that something is true because you've seen the results of it, or you hope for the results of something. You want that particular outcome, so you will have faith in whatever the process is. And so the works part of it is the belief system, it's the beliefs. Because you have faith, you're going to believe that these things will get you there. That's the work component. You have to believe. And in that belief, there's effort that comes along with it. There's action that comes along with it. Where in this faith, faith is, it's a concept. It's something that you see and says, if you do this, this is the outcome. You may have never seen it for yourself, but for some reason, you are releasing that and going to accept it. That's faith. Take it on faith is what old saints used to say. Take it on faith. So, how do you form, how do you create the belief? Because we all have faith in things. We all have faith that certain outcomes are going to happen. They told us if we go to, but I told my parents' generation, if you go to school, you get a good education, get a good job, work for 30 years, retire, you live the rest of your days good. And that model, whether it was effective or not, most of the people in that era, they had faith that that will work. So they went to work every day believing in what the outcome would be. So that's my best breakdown of what faith is. So let me give you another story. And today's gonna be story heavy, so please forgive me. But they will be entertaining. I will promise you that. As I'm getting out of the military, it's gonna be a continuation, not another one. I'm in this network marketing business and I'm learning all these things and I'm changing my life and I'm starting to vibrate at a higher frequency. And then I meet a guy. I meet this guy. He lives a couple of blocks from me. We actually meet at the gym. And he like how I talk. He's like my thoughts. And so that gym relationship turned into outside the gym. And we realized we live a couple blocks from each other. So he would come by the house. He met my family. I met his family. And we would talk. And he would come in my house and he would see all my index cards, my 3x5 papers. And he would see all of my stuff on my mirrors in the bathroom, where I would take dry erase markers and write quotes or scriptures or things that motivated me. And he would always ask. He said, "Man, you really believe in this stuff, huh?" I was like, "Yeah, man, it's turning my life around, bro. I'm feeling better. I'm thinking better. I'm able to see better." And he was just like, "Okay." And then a few years into our relationship, I'm moving, and he came by to help me pack up some stuff, and he noticed that I had bundled up all of my stuff, and I was getting ready to throw them away. And he was like, "Hey, man, don't throw that stuff away. Look, can I have them?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" Your cards with all your scriptures and all your quotes on it. I, I said, "Yeah, if you want them. I mean, you can write your own." He was like, "Nah, I want yours." And so he saw me for a couple of years. He had faith in my system and what I was doing. And he took those cards. And when I would come back and visit or we'd be on the phone, I could hear him reciting the cards. When I came back by the crib one day, I saw his bathroom mirror, dry erase markers all over it. And in that moment, I knew personal development is important because people are going through so many things, some self inflicted, but some life just punches in the face every now and then just to remind us, to keep us humble, I guess. I don't know. But every now and then, life throws this curveball. And it's like credit is a thing. Is it better to have a late payment or a repossession? I know that's a I ain't gonna say a dumb question. I know that's a question that is obvious. I'd rather have a late pay any day than a repossession. Just for the simple math, a late pay falls off after a couple of years. A repossession gonna be on there for 7, and it's gonna impact your credit in many other ways. But if we have a bad month and we miss that car payment, and we make a plan to catch it back up, but we mitigate some of the damage. But if we just don't pay for it anymore, and so now that repossession, it takes our credit way down. And now everything costs us more. So imagine it happening to your spirit, to your body. We spent all this time trying to look good in the mirror so we can go to work, look good in the mirror so we can see other people and for them to be impressed. But we're eating horrible. We're not moving our bodies. We're not doing the things that are going to sustain us. And eventually, there's going to be some damage that occurs. And so faith starts here. This is where you first got to have the awakening. You got to understand that if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And so fast forward a couple years. I'm going through another period in my life. I'm going through another transition, but I don't get as low. But just as I'm climbing out of this ditch, my mom is complaining of severe back pain. I mean, she's taking 7, 8, 9, 10 different pills a day. Ibuprofen, Tylenol, whatever else she was taking, Midol, at least she was taking every over-the-counter drug she could take to alleviate this back pain that she was having. And then finally, one night, it was 2017. She calls my sister, because my sister lives a little closer, to pick her up and take her to the hospital. She gets to the hospital, and they discover that my mom, she suffered with breast cancer back in 93. And what they discovered that night shocked everybody. The breast cancer had come back, but it didn't come forward. It went backward into her spine, and it had deteriorated two of her vertebrae. And so the vertebrae were collapsing, and her spine was sitting on a nerve bank, which was causing all the shooting pains down in her legs, across her back, up her back of her neck. And she was in excruciating pain. How she was able to walk around and go to work for the time that she did still boggles the doctor's minds. We don't know how she was able to do this. This is not even possible. It should not be possible. She had to go through emergency spinal surgery. Then she had to go through another bout of radiation, physical therapy, then chemo. I let everything go that I was doing in that moment because my mom needed me, and I became her primary caregiver through this process. Up until the time she was back walking under her own power again, and she could do for herself. But what would have happened if I was mentally bankrupt? If I was swirling in the woe is me's because I was in yet another transition in my life? No, because I was able to do that, because I had now had a circle of people that was in my life that was watching what was happening to me and applying to their lives as well. Now I have a support system, a team of people that's constantly calling and checking in and motivating and keeping me up. So I'd never fell down. And so what did I do? I went and got some dry erase markers because my mom, she was not happy. She was in pain. She was, why is this happening to me again? I've been cancer free for almost 20 years. Now here we go again. And my mom, she was in a bad place. And so I'm writing on her mirrors now. I'm putting index cards up all around her house, on her refrigerator, on her stove. Everywhere she walked in that house, she got a positive charge. And then an amazing thing happened. She had been holding on to some feelings about my father. During that process, she also came to a place of healing with that. So I'm telling you what I know. This personal development stuff, all this positive self-talk, it works. It's worked in my life. It's worked in friends' lives. It's worked in my mom's life. It's working in my life right now. But this is only the first step. Understanding, being aware that there is a problem or that there could be some things that we could do better to make our outlook better. Because as we talked about a couple days ago, our perspective is shaped by our logic. How we process things determines how we see the world. As Bob Proctor would say, our paradigm. T.D. Jakes would say, our paradigm. There's a shift that needs to happen in how we see things. And we control that. We control the negative thoughts that we have. Because we can automatically counter it with a positive thought. Making adjustments along the way. Making adjustments here, making adjustments there. Because we determine the direction of our thoughts. We may not always be able to dictate what's happening around us, but the one thing we can control is what we do. We are not powerless. We have control over us. And to be honest with you, that's the only place we need to have control. That is the only place that matters. Because if you see it here, you can hold it here. If you understand that the power of your tongue is powerful, if you understand that your thought process is imperative, I was trying to think of a stronger word. It's a must have. You must have this capacity in line. You must have it strong because life's going to throw stuff at you, haymakers, every day, every week. Life is coming for you. And if you are a person that has lofty dreams, and if you believe that there's a cosmic order to things, then you must understand that the universe will exact a price. And if you're not mentally tough, you're going to fall every time. So this channel is all about getting you mentally prepared. Not just for your sake, but also for your family. Because if your children can get information that it took you 40 years to get, and your children getting it at 10, how much better of a chance will they have to not have some of the trauma, some of the scars, to battle some of the demons or generational curses? As parents, it's our job to make the next generation a little bit better, a little bit more better. Coach Barry, life happens for you, not to you. There you go, Coach. Those of you who don't know Coach Barry, he was a business coach of mine a couple years ago, and when I tell you, he gave me a new paradigm. He opened up some things in my mind that I didn't know, and I didn't know that I didn't know it. And some things I did know, but his perspective on it helped make me understand it just a little bit better. I remember when I first started trying to speak and get into this motivational speaking space. Somebody said, "Man, that motivation stuff, it don't last long. It wear off." And one of my mentors said, "Yeah, so does soap, but you use it every day. At least I hope you do." You see, positive self-talk, motivational speaking, inspirational speaking, it's all part of the formula to keep you in the right path. Because like we said, weeds, you ain't got to water weeds. They just going to grow. Before a desert forms fully, weeds are still there. They don't need much. But if you want a fertile mind, if you want a fertile body, if you want healthy relationships, you got to work those jokers every day. You got to work every day. You got to till that soil every day. I'm going to close with one more story, but we're going to get into these affirmations real quick because I feel like now is the time to start declaring who you are and what you will be. Because the rest of the week, we're putting in work. Today's going to be the last day that I'm kind of chopping it up like this with you. We're going to start going to work. So let's get into these affirmations. And I'm going to let you start, but I'm going to finish. I am more than enough. I am an overcomer. I am a conqueror. I am the head and not the tail. I am well equipped. I am well able to do those things that may seem to be beyond my grasp. I am happy. I'm excited that I am creating a life worth living. I am happy and excited to own multiple homes, properties. I am happy and excited to be able to travel the world and meet new and interesting people with different cultures. I am happy and excited that my children, my grandchildren, are going to be able to see a model that they can strive for. I am so happy and excited that I get to impact thousands of homes and families, changing lives and perspectives, helping people become the best version of themselves. I am excited and I'm happy to have a family that cares for me and loves for me, and that encourages me, that trusts in me. I'm excited and I'm so happy that I've grown through all of my struggles and my challenges. I am more than enough. I am worthy in this moment to tackle whatever problem that comes. I am worthy in this moment to excel in every opportunity that's presented to me. I am. I am excited. I am more than enough. Yes, sir. We are more than enough. I'm more than enough. And you are more than enough as well. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to get up out of here, I want to talk about real quick. There's this bamboo plant that is farmed primarily in the lands in China and Asia. And it's called a 5-year bamboo. And it is said that farmers of the 5-year bamboo are some of the most disciplined people on the planet because literally for 5 years they have to till the ground, will make sure that there's enough water, tend to everything around it, and for 5 years they see nothing. There is no growth. There is no little sprouts popping through the dirt. There is nothing happening for 5 years. And then overnight, seemingly, it goes from just dirt to almost 15 feet, seemingly overnight. That story is the epitome, it's the perfect example to what personal development is. Although it don't take 5 years for it to happen. But you plant these words and you say these words, you're reading these words, you're writing them everywhere, and you're just planting the seeds. They don't dramatically change your life when you first start. But if you keep watering, you keep tending to, pulling out the weeds, putting proper fertilizers in, giving it the nutrients it needs, then one day you're going to sprout some amazing bamboo. Strong. And the more you reprogram your mind, the more you reshape your paradigm, the more your logic shifts and your perspective shifts, you find it easier to have faith. Your belief is strong. And your life will never be the same because you won't see it the same way. And so wherever you are, you will find contentment. You will find peace. You will find happiness. But you will also know how. You will know how to turn around any situation that you get into. And that is powerful, my friends. That is powerful. So we getting ready to get up out of here. Today was a great day. Those of you came in late, first place, District 117 for the state of North Carolina. Toastmasters champion. I'm excited because my life is growing in ways that I never thought it could. And that's the amazing thing about belief. When you're doing this personal development stuff, you don't even have to believe it initially. But it's the repetition of saying it, writing it down, putting it on paper, speaking it out your mouth. The repetition creates belief. And if you think I'm lying, think about how many lies you told yourself and that eventually you believed them. Or how many lies you told somebody else and eventually you believed it. You see, the subconscious mind don't care what you put in it, but it's gonna make happen whatever you put there. So be intentional. Shout out Coach Jason Berry. Thanks for dropping by, Coach. I really appreciate you. Gary Johnson, I appreciate you, my brother. That chick, yo, always showing your boy love. I appreciate it. Bobby, you know how we do, boo. Love you. Brick by Brick, Craig G. Yo, you guys are always showing me love, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This life that we're making it. We have to be intentional about it. especially if we want something. And tomorrow we're going to talk about what do you want and how to get it. We're going to start with visualization, so stay tuned. Oh, Friday. I got to work early Friday. So guys, let me know. Do y'all want me to just miss that day? Or would y'all like something that's pre-recorded that I put out? You know what? I'm going to pre-record something and just put it out. Because I want to stay committed to my word and to you. So, you guys be blessed. Thank you for inspiring me. Thank you for appreciating my journey and my struggle and allowing me to share it with you. That's my time for today. Happy Monday. Make the rest of this day the best day you could ever make it. Because today's the only day we promised, right? That's it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my time is over. Get your day started, and we'll see you next time.